As a content creator, you're always looking for ways to research and find out what's going on. What does the market want? And then also to create. You're going to be creating text, you create pictures and sound, all kinds of wonderful things. Videos coming too. In this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about ways you can use a tool called Perplexity. And if you're using it now, you know, okay, it's got a nice version there. There's a free version that I've used for a long time. I just made the upgrade to Pro. Paid the money for that, and I'm going to share with you what I really think of it. You're going to get a chance to see it right here, and you're going to learn from just one user to another. If you have been using it for a while, you'll like that. If you haven't used Perplexity at all, you're going to be able to say, okay, this looks like a good way. We'll take a look at it. We'll see what it's like. I'm Terry Brock, and I do a lot of content creation as a professional speaker, bouncing around different places, speaking at conferences, talking to people about how they can really deploy this AI in a big way, and working with clients on that, specifically one-on-one, one to small groups. We do a lot of that. So what I want to do is I want to help you today to see how you can start using this and what you can put into practice with it. So let's just bounce right over here and get into it here with Perplexity. And I'm looking at Perplexity Pro that I just recently got. Now you can get it, costs $20 a month or $200 a year. So you can do it that way. I like to do things when I like a free plan, and I've been using their free plan for probably over a year now and have been very pleased with it. And now I'm in the paid plan. So let's take a look at that and see what's going on with it. And you can see the kind of pros and cons that are there and make your own decision with that. But I want to show you unbiased, just let you see what's going on. First of all, when you get in here, as you can see, we're in the midst of it right now. You get in there, it says, okay, where knowledge begins, and you can type in what you need. There's a lot of various features over here on the left side, your home, your discover, which by the way, discover is pretty nice. I'm going to click on that and you can see what it does. It brings up current news stories, which is pretty handy. It lets you see some of the things that are going on in the world and you get a good overview of it. I kind of like that. It's nice to see those kinds of things so that you can look at. But one of the things going to be most important is down here in the lower left corner. You'll see right here in the lower left corner, those of you watching this on video, you'll be able to see that. It's got my name there with some numbers behind it, and then the little sprocket there, that gear, so we can click on that and see a lot of different areas that are in there. Now, by the way, if you're catching this on audio, you might want to catch this one particularly on video. So you can use it, but I'll also describe for those of you catching it on audio over on our podcast, how you can use that and what it can do for you. So we're going to click on the gear here in the lower left corner, and you'll see it takes us into a place where you see, okay, standard information that you can look at this. You can see what the account is like and how I've got this, my avatar, username, email is there, Perplexity, and then our subscription. And then here is where it gets pretty exciting. The AI model. You can select various AI models. Now that's real important because with all the different models out there in the market today, you want to get just the right one for you. And I'll give you a tip on what they've got. Right here, when we look at this on Claude, I'm going to look at Claude 3, which is one I've got. You have the default of using the optimize. It's by the search, the email search and what they're doing there and the way they use it with Perplexity. They also have one called Sonar. And then GPT-4, so that's available to you. You can use that as well. Gives you a lot of capability with it, much like over on DALL E, or excuse me, over on ChatGPT. You're getting the similar kinds of effects there. And then you'll see also there's Claude 3. Let me come down here and take a look at that so you can see it a little bit better. See with Claude 3 Sonnet, and they have Claude 3 Opus. The Opus is a little bit bigger one, a little bit faster, a little more extensive, but having the Opus Sonnet and the Opus or Claude 3 Opus, I should say, then you're going to get all of that there. That is giving you a tremendous amount of power because there are many right now saying Opus 3 is the #1 search capability and tool, LLM, large language model, in the world today. Right now, that's as we're recording this. Of course, that could change in an instant, the way the world works. You know how that works. But what we're going to do is take a look at this to see how it can help you. And the fact that you've got these tools available in addition to the others, that's pretty amazing. And then they also have one over here called Mistral, which is from France. Large, it has a lot of capabilities also. I have not used that one very much, matter of fact, at all. But now that I have the Pro version of Perplexity, I have access to that as well. So you see, now I can use the Pro version of this. I can use ChatGPT, And that gives me an advantage when I've got to do some serious research to make sure my sources are correct, make sure I'm getting a lot out there for my clients. So when I'm doing a presentation, I'm going to make sure we're right on top of what's appropriate and important for my client, the people that I'm working with. When I'm working with someone in coaching, I want to make sure that my client is getting the very best information. You'll want to do something like this as well, and you've got the capability of it right here with all of this. I think it's pretty amazing what we can do with it. And then also look at this right below it. You'll see that it's got image generation model. That is really nice there, because with the image generation models, what we can look at is we can look at what we're going to be using here. Right now I'm selecting DALL E 3, and that's the one that I'm using. But let's take a look at what also is available. Not only do you have that, which is incredible, but also you've got access to some others here, like Playground version 2.5, that's very, very popular. You've got DALL E 3, and you have Stable Diffusion. What that means to you is you're getting 3 of the best text-to-image models available, all right here in Perplexity. This is amazing. And I got to let you know, when I got this just a couple days ago and paid for it, I thought, okay, let's see what it's like. You know, the jaded journalist in me is always going, yeah, right. Sure. You know, they teach you that in journalism. And I was looking at it that way. Well, within about 90 to 120 seconds, I was going, oh my goodness, this is really nice. And a big part of it is these 3, you have the ability. I'm going to show you something at the end of this video that you can see how they turn out and some of the advantages or disadvantages. But this is the whole key. There's no one perfect model. DALL E 3 is very good for creating some things. There's some other tools that might be a little bit better in other areas. I think ChatGPT is a very good tool. I use it. I'm in their paid program, their pro version, or I think they call it Plus. And I love it, and I plan to keep using it, and the many GPTs that are out there. But Perplexity, and now Perplexity Pro, gives me an extra advantage in a few certain key areas, which gives me an advantage in the marketplace. That's what you want to get. That advantage in the marketplace. Because if everyone is doing ChatGPT and that's all they're doing, you will have the addition of being able to use some other tools that are out there. So you see, all of this is going to help you to make sure you're getting exactly what you need in the way that you need it. Oh, and look at this also. They have a Discord channel. You can get support, and all of that is available. Now, I like their idea of having support. I think that's a very good thing. However, I'm a little bit concerned. Like I told you, I just got it the other day. I think I got it Saturday. And I sent a message in on Saturday with a question, and I have not heard anything since. Now, I understand Saturday, Sunday, they're probably off, not answering questions. But now it's later. As a matter of fact, the work day is over on Monday as I'm recording this, and it gives the ability to find out what's going on. I have not heard from them yet on support. Could be that they're swamped. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And the questions I had weren't super pressing. But that was just something, tuck it in the back of my mind, see what it's like and see what's going on there. And they do have a referral program as well. So you see what you can do is you can refer a friend. And the way that works is, for instance, I'll leave a note in the description. So you can, if you choose to purchase this through me, I'll get $10 off on my next billing the next year. Since I got it just this last Saturday, I'll be waiting almost a full year, but that's okay. And you'll also get $10. So if you use my link there, you'll get that. And by the way, of course, you'll be able to do the same thing. So it shows you some other nice things here on that. And I think all of that is really good. So that's just an introduction to see what you can do and some of the good that's there, but there's even more. I told you that you could use DALL E 3 through this. You can do that. And you can also use generators within other tools. I tried to use DALL E 3 through Perplexity, and I also went over to ChatGPT and used it there. Because I have the Plus version over on ChatGPT, I could access DALL E there. And I want to show you what I came up with. Here's a prompt that I put in, and here's what it generated when I used this on DALL E 3 through ChatGPT. There's the exact prompt of what I put in there. And the picture that it gave me, I think is pretty good. It gave me a professional image that I could use in a professional situation. I also did it through Perplexity. Same prompt, exact words, and it gave me this. Now, I could play with it a little bit more, but I think this one did not turn out quite as well as the other one. When I look at the two, I think I would go with this one right here versus this second one. This one looks a little bit darker on there. Well, what does that mean? Does it mean that I'm not going to use it? I'll probably use this one in the real world, but what I want to do is be able to have the choice. I also use Playground, which is available for creating more pictures. By using that and by using these other tools that I don't know as well, but I'm going to learn them more, then I've got, again, more choices. I like the idea of having options. I remember my grandfather telling me that when I was just a wee little lad. And he said, it's a good idea to have lots of options. Grandpa was right. Want to make sure that you have those options available so that you can select what is going to work best for you. Another real big factor is you have increased search capability. With the paid program, you're able to have up to 600 searches per day. Well, if you're doing some serious research, you might get there. As an individual, I don't usually get to that level, but it's all right because I can do a lot of extra searches for others that I'm working with. I like that feature in the Pro version. Oh, and before we leave pictures, let me show you one of the things we can do that really is good about this. Here's a picture that I created. I created this here in DALL-E 3, and you can see the prompt that I put in here, where I said, create a picture of two businessmen dressed casually, working together on a laptop, computer, etc., etc. And this is the image that it gave me. I'll come in here and double click on that, and look what it gave me right here. I've got this showing me in the lower left right corner, DALL-E 3. Now this one looks really good. I like the way they put it together. It gives me the ability to see a lot of capabilities, to see, hey, this is what's going on here with it. It gives me the ability to use that in a professional situation. This was created in Perplexity, referring over to DALL-E 3. So you can see a little bit better picture that came out. And so I would say you've got some real strong capabilities, whichever one you're using and however you're using it. It's going to give you a good ability to create pictures with your words, type in your text, and they turn into pictures. And here's a marvelous little feature that I want to show you that just blew me away. It is available over on ChatGPT. Now it is available with the Pro version on Perplexity. Let me show you what this is. I did this just today. I took a picture with my phone of this. And let me come over here and show you that. Right here, here's the picture that I took. This is something, well, it's getting a little bit fuzzy there, but there it is. Okay, now it's cleared up. And you see, this is my Zoom. It's my PodTrack P4. You even see in the lower left corner on this, the reflection that came in from me taking it on my camera. But I took a picture of this, and then I asked it, what is this? What is it that I've got? And look what it did for me here. It gave me this capability, showed me what was in here in the object detection, and then it said, this image shows a Zoom PodTrack P4, which is a portable audio interface device designed for podcasting and audio recording. And it went on to describe it in detail of what it is. That is a very, very nice feature because I want you to think about the capabilities on this. You're out and you're looking at things in the world. You see something and you wonder, what in the world is that? Or is it what I think it is, or is it different? Take a picture of it, feed it into Perplexity, and it will come back with a detailed expression of what it is. That is something very, very nice. One of the things you can also do with this that I've done now, and have done it with the free version of Perplexity, and of course you can do it with the paid version, is to take a PDF. You know, all these wonderful PDFs we get that are great books, great literature. Sometimes they're a little bit long, and we might not have them all. And sometimes you get a full book, might be 200-300 pages. Here's what I did just the other day. I took a PDF of a book that a buddy of mine wrote. A lot of speakers are writing books, and my friend gave me one that he wrote. Great book. I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing. I think it was about 350 pages or so. I fed that PDF into Perplexity Pro. It came back, and I asked it for a 10-paragraph summary of what is in this book, highlighting the key, most important areas. That is tremendous. Can save you a whole lot of time and can help you enormously. Take those PDFs, feed them into Perplexity Pro, and you can get this coming back. Now, of course, you can get this same type of thing with ChatGPT, with particularly some of the GPTs that are out there. This will do it as well. But it's nice to know you have a couple of different angles so that if one doesn't work, you could try the other one. Now, here's one that I'm going to target toward those of you who are working with YouTube. When you're working with YouTube, you know that thumbnail is very important. You want to spend a lot of time on that, make sure it's right. I've seen people that say, well, I think it ought to be this. And another person says, no, I don't think so. I think it should be this. And it's always their opinion. And it depends on their experience. Yes, they're going to have some opinions. That's nice. That's all well and good. I'd rather have hundreds of thousands of robots, AI robots, telling me what works and what doesn't. And now you can do that. I'm using this on Perplexity. You can use this on ChatGPT in some ways as well. But here on Perplexity, it does it magnificently well. I want to show you what I'm talking about. Getting your thumbnail. Here's what I did. I fed a recent thumbnail, that one right there. You might recognize it if you watch our channel. I fed this one in there, said, here is the thumbnail. And I asked it, okay, what is going on here? You'll see the prompt I have up here. Let me get this on here. Act as an expert in thumbnails for YouTube. Tell me what is good about this thumbnail and what should be changed to get 20,000 clicks minimum. Show me step by step how to do this in Canva. And I'm saying 20,000 clicks. I think that's a nice number. It'd be good to get that many. I'm not getting that yet, but this gives you a lot of capabilities with it. And look what it gave me. When I come back here, it showed me all of this information, what's good about the thumbnail and what could be improved. Then it gave me a step-by-step thumbnail creation in Canva because I asked for it in Canva. And look at that. It gave me the results that I need. This is something that is amazing. If you're catching this on audio, you know this is a jaw dropper, even if you're not seeing what's going on. It gives you the ability to tweak it. And I did, and by the way, saw a bump already in views for this particular video by adjusting the thumbnail, taking out the other one, putting this new one in there with the adjustments made in Canva that were recommended by Perplexity Pro. This is a major game changer for those of us who are working with YouTube. If you're using this, if you're using ChatGPT, if you're using Perplexity, and you're using YouTube, these are some tools you can use. Perplexity Pro is going to be a tool that you definitely want to get for this. Another very nice feature is called the Copilot. What it does is it gives you extra questions so that when you type in a prompt, it will come back and say, well, what about this and this and this? Or do you mean this or that? And I found that to be really helpful. It's a follow-up question, and Perplexity has been known for that. What it does is it gives you the answers, and then it comes back and gives you some suggested prompts as well. I love that about working with Perplexity. And I think that highlights yet another very, very important difference between Perplexity and ChatGPT. Perplexity goes out and shows you the references where it got the information. Here are the 5 journals where we got this, the stories that are there. We are citing the scholarly areas, letting you see what can be done. When you use Perplexity, the free version or the paid version, you can select everything out on the net, or you can say, I only want Reddit. So you're getting opinion of people that have ideas and are expressing. Or I only want to get scholarly journals. That would be another one you can use. Or I could say, hey, I only want to look at YouTube channels. I only want videos from YouTube, looking at the transcript of them. This is going to help me. What it does is it focuses you to do much better research. And you see, Perplexity is a better research tool than ChatGPT in many ways. However, ChatGPT still does good reference. It still does good research on that. And I like what it does, particularly with some of the GPTs. When you use the GPTs, you bolster it with a little bit extra. Perplexity does that automatically. One of the things that we complain about with ChatGPT is it's hallucinating. That's the term we use. Hallucinating. It's coming up with answers that aren't quite right. And you know what I'm talking about if you've used ChatGPT for a while. It hallucinates. It comes up with answers because it's being fed information that it takes from here and here, and it's not quite there yet. With Perplexity, you don't get hallucinations. It goes out and says, here's where I saw it. Now, the article itself might be wrong. It might be incorrect, but you're at least seeing where they came from on that and what happened with it. This is an excellent part of working with Perplexity, particularly in their Pro version. One of the downsides I see on Perplexity that I really would like to see addressed that is really good, and I love it over on ChatGPT, is when I'm using my smartphone, I can talk to it and I hear a voice. There's 5 voices you can select. And it's like we have a conversation. We have a chat with the person on there, the person, I'm going to put that in air quotes, person that's in there, and we have a conversation back and forth. I like that. I'm using my voice. It is using its voice and talking to me. And by the way, I can even ask it questions every now and then in Spanish as I'm trying to learn it. I would say, how do you say such and such in Spanish? It will tell me it, I hear it, and I see it printed out. That's very nice over in ChatGPT. We cannot do that in Perplexity, at least not yet. And I would see that as a nick against Perplexity and a positive for ChatGPT. I want to stress again the multimodal capability. And I didn't use that word before, but multimodal, the operations that it has, that means it can take in text, it can take in pictures, and it can bring these pictures in and give you feedback on it. I think that is a really strong feature with Perplexity, and with the Pro version, you're able to do that. And there's another little feature that I just recently discovered that I want to share with you that is right here on the front page when you get in there. Down at the bottom, it's called Playground. As a matter of fact, let me come in here on that so you can see it a little bit more on there. You'll see it says Playground. I'm going to click on that right here. And what it does is it takes you to a place where you can just put in a lot of free-form content. This gives you a chance to do a little bit more of that interaction back and forth. Now, this is where I would really like to have the voice, because it gives me the ability to say, well, what do you think about this or that? And it's giving me real-time information. And by the way, I figured that out because I tried my trick. Let me share that with you, a trick that I use that you can use also. I know what the weather is like today where I am. That's the way it works. Unless you're inside and can't get out, you might not know, but you probably got a good idea. What I'm doing is I'm here in Orlando, Florida. I know what our temperature is. I just typed into the playground. I said, what is the temperature now here in Orlando, Florida? And a couple of seconds later, it came back and gave me what seemed like the reasonable temperature and what I'm getting. And I checked it, and yes, it was correct. So I thought that is good. It's giving me real-time information. And with this, I can get a good conversation going back and forth that goes to another level, maybe a little more casual than I would have with it. Without it. So you just go in here and it looks like a completely blank screen. You'll see all kinds of information is there that we can put in. Down here it says ask anything. I would put in something there and say, well, for instance, here's one thing I can do. Jumped over into caps there. Who was the best president of the, I ought to spell it right, of the United States? So think about it for yourself. Who was the best president? Well, look at the answer it gave. I tried this before, and it was kind of interesting. It said, determining the, in air quotes, best president of the United States is subjective and depends on various factors, including historical impact, leadership style, personal beliefs, et cetera, et cetera. It's real conversational. I like that, and I like the way that it puts it in there for me so that I can find out what's going on in a casual way. Playground is something you definitely want to get to know when you're working with Perplexity Pro. And in conclusion, I'm going to share one thing with you that I'm learning right now, and I want you to look into as well. It's called collections. Write that down. Collections are a way that Perplexity lets you use the same prompt over and over. So that, for instance, you could use, remember the one I was telling you about with YouTube, creating a thumbnail with YouTube? Well, what you can do is you can use a constant prompt over and over. What do you think of this particular thumbnail? What is good about it? What needs to be changed? What would you suggest? Et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's going to be good on any thumbnail you produce. With a collection, you can create that, put it in there, run it through there on a regular basis, and start getting some really good output. I'm going to work on that myself, and we'll be back with a video in the future showing you how to do it. So you're going to get a chance to look at all this. So bottom line, where do we stand with this? Well, I'm really blown away with how good it is. Perplexity Pro version, definitely worth the $20 a month or $200 a year. Come on, this is business. You want to get some serious results, put some cash down, be willing to part with some capital and make it happen. And then you're going to be able to do a lot. But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this? How is it working for you? How is it helping you? We'll look forward to hearing from you, and I want to make sure that you're getting the information you need. And to do that effectively, we've got some more videos. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you see a chance of a video that I put here next. You'll see it right over here and over here. Some Perplexity videos. Here as I move it around like that. You're going to be able to see the videos, be able to get some good information with that can help you as you move forward. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you very much for joining me today.